Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you now Game 3 in the series between MKP, Marine King versus Taeja here in Entombed Valley. MKP is spawning as the yellow Terran player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Taeja is spawning as the blue Terran player this time around on the top right-hand side of the map. Now, I must admit, Game 2 was rather exciting. MKP came in, did a fair amount of harassment damage, but Taeja actually analyzing the situation extremely well. Notice that MKP didn't have Marines, wasn't going for Vikings, and sent one lone Banshee without cloak to deal terrible damage, actually surpassing MKP in terms of or equaling MKP in terms of the harvester kills with only one Banshee as opposed to 3 and without cloak. Taeja really edging out there, and it definitely showed as we now move into game 3 in this series, the deciding match in a best of 3, as we now see both players actually opening up with rather similar builds this time. Barracks on the front door, it looks like, coming in from Taeja. Meanwhile, what is this? MKP may be going for a command center first. Now, command center first is a little bit risky on a map like this just because of how wide this ramp is here and also the elevator play that we've seen in the previous games. Now, the elevator play is not most likely going to happen from this side, but perhaps an elevator from this side, from the low ground onto the high ground, as it will force all of these units to try to slip up into here, which is a little bit further walking distance. Now, Taeja is going for that standard barracks followed by refinery. Meanwhile, MKP is going for that faster command center. And I am a bit surprised that Marine King feels safe enough to establish a command center here as opposed to trying to build the command center here up on the high ground. Now, Taeja could easily come in with very strong aggression. Marines and Marauders could easily just push their way up here, but I'm not 100% sure what Taeja's units of choice are just quite yet. Still no factory. You can see that the supply depot is done here. The refinery was actually a little bit later than normal, I believe. Normally, Terran players can start the refactory right as that supply depot is done. So it is just going to be a reactor. So Liquid Taeja going for a reactor. He is still harvesting a fair amount of gas. And I am curious as to what's happening now as we see a command center coming in. So this is a one racks expansion with a reactor instead. And he will be going up against MKP, who does have double barracks. We all know that double barracks and one reactor barracks does train up the same amount of units so far, as we should be going into a factory now. Taeja going to be doubly training up some Marines. He'll probably just be holding this position here, as it looks like we are going into more of an economic game than I originally thought. MKP had been opening up with very heavy harassment, and this time around he is just going for a very strong economic game with this 15 command center, and now going for this triple racks. This double gas behind this triple racks does indicate to me that he's going for a rather heavier Terran bio, perhaps adding on some tech labs here in just a moment in order to get stim, also getting up a factory as well for a starport and reactor medevacs that should be in the near future, as we now see a decent saturation at the main base and perhaps heavier saturation at the natural in just a moment. No, MKP perhaps waiting to get up to 16 here before he starts transferring things over to his natural. So far, both players playing very similarly. MKP, however, opting to go for an engineering bay, as both players still playing very much in the dark. Here we have Starport Marine double training of Hellions. And this build actually looks reminiscent of what MKP used in Game 1. We are adding on a tech lab here. There is a Viking now in the air. Okay, never mind. It is not reminiscent at all. Viking there to perhaps shut down any Banshees that MKP may be trying to produce. No Banshee as of yet. Hellion going to go up the ramp only to get shot down. There it goes. A lot of Marines on the ramp. showcasing what exactly MKP is doing at this point. All right, an SCV going to be slipping its way up here in just a moment. It's going to run into a very, very foul death as well. There it goes. As the Hellions still doing a little bit of a dance. Oh, this could be a bad move. The Hellions running straight into a group of Marines here. Able to get off some damage. There you go. Trying to exchange better as the Hellions do benefit from that splash damage there. There is that damage, and now once again backing away. There's more damage still as the Hellions battling up against Marines. There goes another Marine there as one lone Hellion gets another kill there. So some damage on some Hellions for the trading of, I believe, 5 Marines and damage across a whole bunch of Marines. Nicely played by Taeja. There's that starport. There's that reactor on that factory for that double medevac play. Who's going to be able to engage faster as siege tanks are now being trained up and researched. Stim pack and combat shield ready to go. This time MKP staying more true to his name. Marine King staying true to a heavier Marine composition. But will it be enough? And will Taeja be able to hold his opponent? You can see that one siege tank is already on the field. A second one should be there alongside even a third one at the time that the Marines and the Marauders will be on the move. Only two medevacs now trying to be trained here as we see. What was that? A lift up on the orbital command. A bit of an accident, I must assume. MKP going to be landing this here. We are going into a third orbital or a third command center right down here by Marine King, as Marine King looks to perhaps attack and expand all at the same time. Taeja does have siege tech. Where are those siege tanks? That is the better question. One siege tank here. There is that Viking siege tank. Double training of weapons upgrade. Marines and Marauders are off over here, but I believe MKP may just be able to walk up the ramp. He has such a good composition of units. And I think this is just Taeja not having his units grouped together. This is going to be a horrible loss. Taeja needs to get up the siege tank in siege mode. If he does it now, he should be fine. Yes, there you go. He does have it siege up. There's the scanner sweep. And now what is happening now as we now see Marines are back over here. The Marines and Marauders are going to get ready to charge up the ramp here in just a moment. There's the engagement. There's the Marauders and the Marines trying to engage. One siege tank will go down. Will the second one go as well? Yes, it does. And Taeja just caught without all of his units at the same spot. And that might be the end of it as a whole bunch of SCVs go down as well. Marines going after that siege tank. It looks like it will get taken down. There it goes. And there is the GG coming in from Taeja as Marine King takes the game with what appears to be absolute ease. One of those situations where having your units cost just out of position by about 10 to 15 seconds could be the difference between victory and defeat. That was exactly it. Taeja with the defending advantage. If he had all 3 siege tanks at the same defensive spot, would have been in a much better location. Taeja playing in the dark, not even holding Zelnaga Tower or trying to hold with one Marine down here to see what was going to happen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.